Destin Fire Control District Board of Commissioners to order. We're at 848 Airport Road here in Destin. Today is September 10th, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. This meeting is open to the public. Before I start public comments, I'd like to everybody take a few minutes of silence for the loss of lives during 9/11, as tomorrow will be the 18th anniversary of 9/11 for all the families that were affected from that tragedy. So if we could just take a few moments of silence, please. Thank you. All right, the floor is open to public comments at this time. Seeing none, I'd like to close the floor to public comments and a review of the minutes of regular meeting August 13th, 2019.
Motion to approve the minutes of August 13th, 2019.
Second. I got a motion to approve in a second. Any changes, deletions, or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Yep, unanimous. All right, review of the financial report, August 31st, 2019. Catherine?
We are at the end of our fiscal year. Currently have 3 more weeks to go. This report is reflective as of August 31st. Balance sheet, discussion on the balance sheet. Accounts receivable are coming down. They're at $98,000 right now due to collection from the TDC. Accounts payable are in line. Equity is adjusted accordingly for the month. Fixed assets will be adjusted for our next report, September, for our year end. I always do those once a year. As far as our revenue over expenditures versus budget, one of the items of revenue that I'd like to mention is the unrealized gain and loss. That is the gain that we've experienced on our bond fund, $160,000. It should be found on page 6. Right underneath the center, you've got interest on investments and then unrealized gain on investments, $166,000. This is not something that we're projecting into the future year. It is larger than anything that we've anticipated. Right now, that the bond funds are doing well. It's a unsteady market, shall we call it, and people are taking security with lower risk items such as the bond fund. The bond funds actually haven't seen this level of gains in over 15 years, since approximately 2002. So I don't anticipate, I want to make sure the board knows that I don't anticipate that type of gain in the upcoming years. But it certainly looks nice here to have a profit like that going forward.
We'll take it.
We do have one final billing to the TDD and to the city of Destin. That'll happen in September. And as far as the expenses go, we're winding down the year, cleaning up items, purchasing the final items that we need, getting vehicles repaired, making sure the preventive maintenances are done. We do anticipate a rollover into our 1920 year. And that, as was presented on our last meeting, will be used for vehicle for the new station that goes in, additional pay down on the retirement fund. So if there's any questions, I'll address those.
Once we do that, is there any way to project what our funded percentage will be? I know we need a valuation report to really do that.
Yes, we can
Based
come
on
up
what
with
we've
an
seen,
Yes, we can come
that
up
would
with
be
an
an
estimate.
interesting number to have.
Okay.
What's your guess?
I can't tell you that right now. I have to take a look at what we put in this year and what we're going to put in for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
So, but I can prepare something and get it to you.
It should get us into the, way into the 70s, I would think.
We're already in the 70s.
Yeah.
Way into the 70s.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay. 80 would be amazing.
Entertain a motion.
Move we approve the financials as of 8/31.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Got a tie for seconds. All right.
I regret.
Any questions, comments? Seeing none, take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, we're moving into old business. West End District Station, Chief.
Yes, sir. I'll let Commissioner Buckingham elaborate. However, as Commissioner Buckingham explained during the last meeting, it was going to be going before the county commission at their next meeting to be approved and sent forward to the Department of Treasury. I know that it was on their agenda, and Commissioner Buckingham has informed me that it actually was passed. Both parks for Destin were both passed for that funding, and was supposed to be sent to the Treasury.
Right. As soon as we get a word from the Treasury, we're gonna request from the council to get with their attorneys to draft up the lease agreement of, however the city feels to be, but it looks like it's rolling pretty quick. So as soon as we hear something from the Treasury of yes, okay, good, whatever it may be, then we're gonna move forward from there. So it's right around the corner.
Okay. Now, DC will be involved in that too, right, on that?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
representing the district, and helping with the agreement.
Any quick questions or anything?
Great.
That's exciting. Good information. Audit Committee.
Yes, sir, that was Mr. Wilson is the chairman of the committee. I know we've all reached out, or Commissioner Wilson has reached out. We've got a meeting scheduled, and I'm sure Mr. Wilson can fill in on that.
October 2nd, the committee will meet. They have reviewed the RFP and our process and everything else offline. We felt we needed a meeting to do that. So the RFP went out yesterday, is that correct?
That's correct.
So it's published. And what's the date for the response? It's September?
The 25th.
Okay, yeah, right in there, end of the month. And we're meeting on October 2nd. The committee is to wade through that stuff and come forward with a recommendation to you at our October 9 meeting, whatever the date is.
Perfect. All right, moving to chief reports. Food safety update. Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Don't have that much, obviously, with the weather. We had a quiet Labor Day holiday with the storm, so not a lot of folks in town. Just looking at the statistics, everything seems to be on par for just another busy year. But if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Our lifeguard tower got struck by lightning. Where are we at with that?
I've taken photos, and Catherine and I are working on getting an adjuster to look at it to see if we can put in a claim for it for insurance. After I've gone and looked at it, I have a feeling if you could pick up the whole thing and take it to a fiberglass shop, it probably wouldn't be that much of a repair, but I'm not quite sure how you could do that. So we'll see what they say. Somebody will be able to, most likely be able to go down there, I'm assuming, and patch the fiberglass. It doesn't seem like there's any real structural damage, and we've done a fairly decent job with some flex seal and some flex tape to keep it watertight. Obviously, that won't last forever,
Yeah.
but,
Good job getting the lifeguard out of the tower
That's the most important thing.
prior to the lightning hitting.
well,
So
we can fix the tower, right?
yeah, we can fix the tower. Training report.
Yes, sir, you have in front of you, you see 28 hours detained in August in various subjects. If you have any questions, I can answer those for you.
I have a quick question on the fire hydrants. Do we have a map of where they're all at?
Oh, yeah.
They're GPS, right?
Yes, sir. We've got them on the computer. And
Yeah.
Someone was
we've got
telling me
them
the
on
other
wall.
day they were, oh, I know where it was at. It was on Azalea and whatever that street is, Melvin, or that runs,
By Goldsby?
yeah,
By Goldsby there?
Goldsby, yeah.
Hey, Goolsby, Melvin's down
They
by.
like to ran into the fire hydrant because it was camouflaged and weeds and everything else growed up around it, so. And they were
Ran
clearing
into
around
it in a
there.
car?
No, but they were clearing the land, a path and stuff like that, so. It may have
Right
been
on
one that we didn't
corner,
know
on that
about,
corner,
somewhere in there.
On that vacant corner?
Yeah. So we
Yeah,
may
no,
make a
there's-
note of it, check it out.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a map that's got all the hydrants on it that's updated from Destin Water users. it includes both private and public hydrants. So the public hydrants being the ones that Destin Warriors has to maintain, the private ones being the property owner has to maintain and keep up.
Developer, what's that?
Huh?
And the developer, what have you?
Yes, sir, as they develop it, and then whoever becomes the property owner, they have to maintain those hydrants. And some of those contracts have that hydrants that are specifically assigned to them that are on their property. Those in the public right of way, when the public hydrants, DWSD.
Just if you would, just make a note of that
Or
one and
the
go
one on
check it out.
Azalea in Goldsby?
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
around there,
Okay,
because they brought it to my attention.
yep. They didn't say they hit it, did they?
No, they didn't
Oh,
get
okay.
it. They would know. All right, any other questions? Inspection report?
So, Mr. Chairman, you have my report in front of you. Just an update, apartments there behind Winn-Dixie are under construction now and starting to come out of the ground. And there's a couple projects that's in the TRT phase right now. Looks like just some subdivisions maybe coming forward. And then just as a reminder, October is Fire Prevention Month coming up, so we'll be getting out and going through the schools and the daycares and visiting all our kids and talking with them in October, so it'll be a busy month for the inspection side of it. Do you have any questions?
Seeing none, overtime report, chief.
Yes, you'll see the August activity. I would say August is up some, but I'll also back that up with that we've seen in the last 2 weeks of, or last 4 weeks, that it's gone down significantly. So I think you'll have your peaks at times. Some of the conditions still exist for it to occur, meaning that we have 2 people off, still on workers' comp. So I think we're still going to be there, still going to have sicknesses, those things are going to happen. And we'll hope to have one of them back here before too long. The other one, we're not sure exactly when the time frame will be. But once we get into this next year's budget, we will be looking to add personnel as we have budgeted, which Ms. Catherine, which we talked about and kind of demonstrated in the upcoming budget for next year. So,
Did you want to do your presentation?
and it's just as soon as we were done with that, I was going to talk to the board about the plaque list. So if there's not any questions on the overtime, I'll move right into the plaque list there. As the board sees, if the chairman wouldn't mind holding it up, we received this plaque from Pierce and 10-8. This is a thank you for allowing Pierce and 10-8 to show off our truck at Fire Rescue International Conference in Atlanta. I think the truck was a hit. I know that there's a local fire chief that went to Fire Rescue International, sent me a picture and looked at our truck and said it's a really nice truck. When the representative from Pierce and 10-8 came to deliver the truck to us after it had been in Fire Rescue International, it was on the way to our shop. They explained to us that it was a big hit there, that everybody that saw the truck said that's a working truck. That's one that's designed to go to work. Not only that does it look good, but it's designed and set up for operation, for our guys that are on that truck to be able to get the job done. And a lot of them like the way that it was set up and designed. It's very similar to Engine 9 with a few tweaks. So the fact that Engine 9 wasn't there, I think we would have had a lot of the same reviews from Engine 9. This one just happened to be able to go to Fire Rescue East. I think Pierce was very proud of it and wanted to take it to show it off, because I think they thought it would help them in their sales, obviously, by having our truck there and seeing that we had actually laid one out that's very fitting for the job. So this plaque is a tribute to that. He also did, I think it's a kudo to our committee and our guys for setting it up, that there was a fire chief from, I believe it was Illinois, I don't remember the specific department, that asked for a copy of the plans and specs for that truck, because he was going to purchase one this coming year, and when he saw this one, he said that's the truck that he wanted. So they got at least one sell off of our truck. So, but it does speak volumes about the work that our people have put in to reviewing this truck and helping to design this truck and laying the specs out for it to be a a working firefighter's truck. So this is a very, thank you for us, for the commission, for allowing them to utilize our truck for fire rescue. So thank you for allowing them to do that.
Well, that's nice recognition because Pierce builds a good, fine fire truck. Thanks to the committee for their input.
Yes,
So it's well noted.
I think it's a very
obviously.
good job.
Yeah,
Yep.
very good. All right, moving to new business, fiscal year 2018-2019 year-end budget adjustments. Catherine?
The budget adjustments before you, you will, what you want to focus on is the third column. It's slightly tinted a different shade. I'll work on that presentation for future. There are several adjustments as we're at the year end, and I do want to mention that some of these adjustments are very small because we've always pinched pennies to make the budget as tight as we can. So while I hate doing small adjustments, we're also not going to finish a year in a negative in categories. So as far as personnel expenditures go, we're taking from insurance benefits. We knew back in February that we had savings from insurance benefits, and we're going to utilize some of that money to pay for some capital expenditures that we'll discuss on a future page. Adjustment to 175 state portion, we received the state funding for our retirement fund for our annual report. That money came in higher than we expected, so we had to expend more than we expected. Duty overtime, we discuss monthly at our ongoing meetings. As you flip through the next several pages, you'll see again, there's just small adjustments, 1,000 cell phones, higher use for some of the utilities, repair and maintenance for boat and buildings. We actually had some abnormal things happen this year, and we are going to anticipate some of that for upcoming years because, again, these small adjustments, I really don't like making them, but we like to run a tight ship. Supplies, some minor adjustment in supplies, beefing up our CPR fund. And then you go to the capital outlay, you'll see in bunker gear, we had several new employees this year, so we need additional money there. Beach safety was revamped. So there was a lot of savings due to weather this year, but we needed a lot of supplies. In beach safety, we tend to let things wear because we are not the funding source for it. We have to do what our contracts state. We have to serve a different funding source. So at year end, we are able to say, okay, we have savings due to weather, due to personnel, and now we can get new boards because our boards are falling apart, and let's not continue to use them and so forth. So there's several adjustments there. And then the junior lifeguard program, you'll see many adjustments within that. We came in right at our budgeted amount for junior lifeguard, but we did need to make minor adjustments of where those funds were expended. So, overall, we are, as we always do, anytime we spent something, we found the savings in another category to make that work. We just didn't take money from unassigned fund or anywhere else. So we were able to do that and finish up the next 3 weeks of this budget. And once we get an auditor, we'll wrap up this year.
Joe?
Yeah, Catherine, what was, I just look at the big numbers that are in the variance, and one of the top ones, it's not obvious to me, is supplies.
The supplies are station supplies. Now, are you speaking just the total category or the?
I'm looking at the mid-year, the year-end adjustment of 30,000. And we thought it was gonna go down at mid-year, and in fact, it's gonna go up, right?
Of supplies?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in beach safety, you just addressed that, I got that. I didn't realize it was in beach safety.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, so that's what I just
The other
spoke about.
supply, yep, okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? And then moving on to insurance renewals.
We need an
workers' comp-
approval.
Oh,
We
I'm
need an
sorry.
approval for
Yeah,
this.
I'm sorry.
I
I
move that we
was-
approve the year-end adjustments to the 2018-19 budget.
Okay, I have a motion?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, take a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Now moving into insurance renewals, workers' compensation. Kathy?
We received this week our renewal from our new carrier that we took on less than 2 years ago. Due to the experience that we've had in the past 2 years, our mod has jumped up significantly from 1.22 to 1.61, which is a significant increase to our workers' comp. It is a 54% increase, approximately $62,000. Unfortunately, in the line of business that we're in, there are not a lot of carriers that will write for fire departments. And then we're limited even further that not only a fire department, we're also beach safety department. And there are only 2 carriers in the area. And we switched from the other carrier less than 2 years ago. I'm still working with our agent. We're going to continue to work on this. He works very diligently to help us keep our mod down. He monitors it through the year. If the insurance company codes it improperly, he gets it fixed. All the little coding, everything matters. So he works on that. But that's as far as he can go as a broker. He is going to work with me this winter, assuming that the board approves this renewal at this time. We are not locked into a 12-year commitment with this carrier if we decide to renew, 12 months. We're not locked in. We can cancel our policy if we find something better to switch from. He is going to go back and he's going to quote FMIT, again, the previous carrier, and we're also going to look into splitting the coverage. Is there any way, can we split? Is there any carrier that will handle beach safety by itself? So I'm going to do some investigating around the state, in other states as well. We deal with national companies. Well, are there companies in other states that write the same type of coverage that maybe they want to expand to more of a national coverage instead of in their local? So we're going to try to push those areas. But this is one of the expenses, just like the general insurance, that we are very limited in the options in which we have, and our hands are kind of tied. So it is good that we're not locked in for 12 months, that we can continue to look. We have some things going on right now with workers' comp that we need to get settled out over the next couple months that will help lower our mod rate when they get closed. So that's what we're waiting for before we quote with FMIT again.
Oh, you made the comment that our risks are associated with our line of business, but when you talk about separating out our lines of businesses to 2 or maybe even 3 risk pools, that's what larger companies would do when they have high hazard employees and low hazard employees. And we have all 3. I mean, beach is one risk profile, firemen are the highest risk, of course, and there are a few people in the department that are not high risk. They're not in either pool. And I would challenge our broker, if he wants to do the right thing for us, go figure out, don't tell me why not, tell me how to move this to 3 risk pools with 3 different insurance companies if we have to. And then we can make sure that everybody gets the comparable coverage and benefits, but we don't have to pay, for example, for office workers, the risk of a fire. That's what we're doing today.
Correct, and that's where, some of that is on the beach safety side, because we have such a large beach safety division now, so the risk that's associated with those firefighters is just tremendous. It's increasing that side as well. As far as the administration, you have 2 or 3 employees, it may not be worth segregating that, but we can certainly look into it and have investigated that. So that is part of what we're doing, not only on the worker comp side, but also on the general liability side, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Now, does beach safety contribute to their workers' comp?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Safety pays their allocated portion for workers' comp, as well as their general liability insurance, yes.
Good.
So we will need a motion at this time to continue with the carrier while we investigate our options.
I'll make a motion with it. continue going with the carrier we have until we investigate.
I'll second.
Yeah, motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. All right, the next meeting, which will be the final budget hearing, is scheduled for September 19th, 2019 at 5:01 PM. And then our regular scheduled meeting will be October 8th, 2019 at 5:30 PM. So anything else from the board from commissioners? Being none, this meeting is adjourned.